So I know you and I talked about this before. We talked about like reparations, and I said I felt like Bernie Sanders should have had that a part of his platform. Do you think that you would implement reparations as a part of your platform? And if so, would part of that be cash payments as well?
Well, one, I've been part of reparation committees for over 35 years, going back to the days of the great Randall Robinson, who just passed, as you know, in Virgin Islands. He was at Harvard Law when I was at Harvard College, and we were part and parcel of the takeover of the president's office, given the investments in Angola at that time. And he's the founder of Trans-Africa, primarily committed to reparations. So for over 40 years, I've been fundamentally committed to reparations. Why? Because I'm committed to truth and justice. I think we ought to know what is the truth in terms of what happened to Black folk, enslaved, Jim Crow, Jane Crow, lynched, discriminated against, degraded. And once you find that truth, how do you repair it? It's like tort law. How do you repair it? That's justice. So it's not any kind of special preference. It's not any kind of Black folk having some special assets. No, we want to know the truth, and then justice has to do to how do you repair it. And how do you repair it? What form does it take? It could take cash. It's taking cash in other cases of reparation and so forth, you see. And there we look to the William Dohertys and others who have been thinking about this thing for 30, 35 years. And that's why I actually overlap strongly with Brother Antonio and Sister Yvette with ADOS. And a lot of people, got deep questions about ADOS and so forth. I was there with them the first convention. I'll be there in terms of reparations. Then I go on to tell them, and they've heard me say on many occasions, in my deep support of reparations in terms of those who are descendants of American descendants of slaves, that I don't want any anti-immigrant sensibility. Don't turn those who once called themselves Negroes against those who are from the Caribbean or those who are from Ethiopia and so forth. We have a solidarity, a moral and a spiritual solidarity. We might have distinctive histories. Bob Marley ain't the same as Curtis Mayfield, even though his group imitated Curtis when he came out. But he come out of Jamaica. Jamaica got its own rich, deep history, but they on the reggae. They ain't on to Choice of Colors. They ain't on to Superfly. So the thing is that we have to understand that we can pursue reparations for African descendants of slaves, even as we embrace fair treatment of immigrants from Mexico and Haiti and Honduras and so on. We don't need to be xenophobic as we also call for our reparations. And that's part of the rich discussion within ADOS, and that's very important. But I just throw that out because a lot of times when you come out for reparations, people think somehow you're turning your back or somehow putting less value on the suffering of others.
Right. Right. Whereas it's more about a debt that's owed.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the name of Randall Robinson's great book, The Debt. And even Brother Coates. I've had my disagreements with my dear Brother Coates. He's a brilliant brother, but his essay on reparations that was in, I think it was Atlantic magazine a few years ago. Very important statement. All voices can be used and mobilized for good. Very much so.